Bless this house, O Lord, ladies and gentlemen. Bless this house, O Lord, is more than a gentle prayer whispered at the doorway. It is a declaration of purpose, a statement of alignment, and a commitment to a higher order of living. Because a house is not just bricks and walls. A house is an environment, and every environment produces something. If there is no intention, it produces confusion. If there is no vision, it produces disorder. If there is no presence of God, it produces emptiness. So when we say, bless this house, O Lord, we are not merely asking for comfort, we are inviting transformation. We are saying, let this place become a center of peace in a world of chaos. Let this home become a refuge where broken hearts are restored. Let this house produce wisdom, discipline, love, and purpose. A blessed house is not determined by its size, its furniture, or its location. A blessed house is determined by what governs it, who leads in this house, what values are honored here, what words are spoken daily within these walls. Because words shape atmosphere, atmosphere shapes behavior, and behavior shapes destiny. If you fill your house with gratitude, it will overflow with joy. If you fill it with truth, it will stand firm in times of pressure. If you fill it with faith, it will not collapse when storms come. So don't just decorate your home, develop it. Don't just maintain your house. Build it with intention. Every room must have purpose. Every relationship within it must have respect. Every decision made inside it must reflect wisdom. When you say, bless this house, O Lord, you are also accepting responsibility. Responsibility to protect the peace within these walls. Responsibility to guard what enters, both physically and spiritually. Responsibility to ensure that this house does not become a place of division, but a place of unity. Because a house that is divided cannot stand, but a house that is aligned with purpose becomes unstoppable. Let this house be a place where dreams are not just imagined, but activated, where children are not just raised, but empowered, where challenges are not feared, but conquered. And understand this, the blessing does not come just to make you comfortable. It comes to make you impactful. A truly blessed house becomes a blessing to others. It becomes a place where people find hope, a place where wisdom is shared, a place where love is experienced in its purest form. So today, don't just say the words, live them. Walk through your home with intention. Speak life into every corner. Establish principles that will outlive you. And let your house declare without saying a word. This is a place of peace. This is a place of purpose. This is a place where God is honored. Bless this house, O Lord, not just for our sake, but so that everyone who enters it leaves better than they came. Thank you. A house must have purpose, because without purpose it is nothing more than a structure of walls and a roof. A home is not defined by its design, size, or decoration, but by the life that flows within it. It is an environment, and every environment is designed, either intentionally or unintentionally, to produce results. The question is not whether your home is producing something, but what it is producing. Is it producing peace or tension, growth or stagnation, unity or division? These outcomes are never accidental. They are the direct result of what is allowed, encouraged, and established within that space. Purpose gives direction to everything that happens inside a home. When there is vision, every action, every word, and every decision begins to align with something greater than the moment. Without vision, however, people simply exist together without growing together. They share space, but not direction. And when there is no shared direction, confusion slowly replaces clarity, and disorder replaces harmony. A home without intention becomes reactive rather than proactive, responding to problems instead of being structured to prevent them. When a house is built on purpose, it becomes a place of strength. It becomes a training ground where character is developed, values are taught, and lives are shaped with consistency. Purpose influences the atmosphere, and atmosphere influences behavior. If the atmosphere is filled with encouragement, people begin to thrive. If it is filled with negativity, people begin to shrink. This is why intention is not optional. It is essential. You cannot expect a peaceful home if peace is not deliberately cultivated. You cannot expect strong relationships if they are not intentionally nurtured. Purpose also creates stability. In moments of pressure, when challenges arise, a home with clear intention does not easily collapse because it is anchored in something deeper than circumstances. It knows what it stands for. It knows what it protects. It knows what it refuses to become. That clarity becomes its strength. On the other hand, a home without purpose is easily shaken because it has no foundation beyond temporary emotions and shifting situations. To say that a house must have purpose is to recognize that a home should be guided, not left to chance. It requires deliberate effort to define what kind of environment it will be and what kind of people it will produce. When vision and intention are present, a house transforms into a place of peace, growth, and resilience. A place where not only life happens, but where life is shaped with meaning and direction. What governs a house ultimately determines the kind of life that flows within it, because every home operates under a system, whether clearly defined or silently accepted. That system is built on leadership, values, and the words that are consistently spoken. These elements shape the unseen foundation of the home, and from that foundation comes its true condition. A house may appear beautiful on the outside, but its real value is revealed through the atmosphere inside. Leadership sets the tone, because someone always influences the direction of the home. When leadership is guided by wisdom, integrity, and responsibility, it creates stability and trust. But when leadership is absent or inconsistent, confusion takes its place, and the home begins to drift without clear direction. Values are the standards that define what is accepted and what is rejected. They act as the boundaries that protect the environment of the home. If respect is valued, it will be evident in how people speak and treat one another. If honesty is valued, it will be reflected in actions and decisions. However, if values are unclear or ignored, the house becomes vulnerable to disorder. What is tolerated today becomes normal tomorrow. This is why what you allow matters so deeply, because permission shapes culture. Every compromise, every overlooked behavior gradually builds the identity of the home. Words, too, carry immense power in governing a house. They are not just sounds. They are forces that shape atmosphere and influence emotions. Consistent words of encouragement, patience, and truth create an environment where individuals feel secure and empowered. On the other hand, careless words filled with anger, criticism, or negativity slowly erode the strength of relationships. Over time, those words settle into the walls of the home, forming either a foundation of peace or a pattern of tension. The future of a house is often hidden in the language spoken within it daily. What you practice reinforces what you believe. Habits, routines, and daily behaviors turn values into reality. It is not enough to speak about unity, love, or discipline. They must be demonstrated consistently. A house is governed not only by what is said, but by what is repeatedly done. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds strength. Without it, even the best intentions lose their impact. The blessing of a house is not something random or automatic. It is cultivated through what governs it. When leadership is intentional, values are clear, and words are life-giving, the home develops an atmosphere that supports growth, peace, and resilience. In that kind of environment, people flourish, relationships deepen, and the house becomes more than a place to live. It becomes a place where life is strengthened and the future is shaped with purpose. Blessing requires responsibility because it is not simply something that is given. It is something that must be sustained. When we ask for God's blessing upon a house, we are not only making a request, we are stepping into a commitment. That commitment is to create, protect, and preserve an environment where that blessing can remain. Many people desire a peaceful, united, and stable home, but few recognize that such an environment does not exist by chance. It is built through intentional actions, consistent discipline, and a willingness to take ownership of what happens within those walls. To protect peace in a home requires awareness and effort. Peace is fragile if it is neglected, and it can easily be disrupted by careless words, unresolved conflict, or negative attitudes. Responsibility means choosing patience over reaction, understanding over assumption, and calmness over chaos. It means addressing issues with maturity rather than allowing them to grow into division. Peace must be guarded daily, because what is not protected will eventually be lost. Unity also demands responsibility. A united home does not mean the absence of differences, but the presence of respect and a shared commitment to remain connected despite those differences. It requires humility, the willingness to listen, and the discipline to value relationships above personal pride. Without responsibility, small disagreements can grow into lasting separation. But when unity is treated as a priority, the home becomes stronger because its foundation is built on mutual respect and intentional togetherness. Discipline is another essential part of maintaining a blessed house. It is the structure that keeps everything in order. Discipline governs behavior, establishes boundaries, and ensures that values are not just spoken but practiced. Without discipline, even the best intentions fade away. Responsibility means creating habits that support growth, consistency, and accountability. It means setting standards and living by them even when it is inconvenient. Discipline transforms desire into reality and intention into action. A blessed house does not happen accidentally. It is the result of deliberate choices made every day. It is built in the way people speak to one another, the way they respond to challenges, and the way they uphold the values they claim to believe in. Responsibility is what turns a prayer into a lifestyle. It is what ensures that the blessing asked for is not wasted, but nurtured and multiplied. When responsibility is embraced, a home becomes more than a place of comfort. It becomes a place of strength, stability, and lasting peace. It reflects not just a desire for blessing, but a readiness to sustain it. A blessed house is never meant to exist only for those who live within it. Its true purpose is revealed in how it impacts others. When a home is filled with peace, love, discipline, and purpose, it naturally becomes a source of strength beyond its walls. It begins to carry an influence that reaches into the lives of everyone who enters. This is because a genuinely blessed home creates an atmosphere that people can feel the moment they step inside, an atmosphere that uplifts, restores, and inspires without needing to announce itself. It becomes a place where burdens feel lighter, where hope is rekindled, and where individuals are reminded that better is possible. Impact is the evidence of a true blessing. It is not measured by what the house contains, but by what it releases into the lives of others. A home that is aligned with purpose becomes a refuge for those who are weary, a place of counsel for those who are confused, and a source of encouragement for those who are discouraged. The conversations that happen within it begin to carry wisdom. The relationships reflect sincerity, and the environment offers a sense of belonging that many people rarely experience elsewhere. This kind of home does not isolate itself from the world. It engages with it by offering something meaningful and lasting. Inspiration flows naturally from a house that is built on strong values. When people witness genuine love, respect, and unity, it challenges them to reflect on their own lives. It plants seeds of change in their hearts. They begin to see what is possible when a home is governed with intention and care. In this way, a blessed house becomes a living example, demonstrating that peace is achievable, relationships can be healthy, and life can be lived with purpose. It does not preach loudly, but its consistency speaks powerfully. Hope is one of the greatest gifts a home can give. In a world where many are surrounded by negativity, uncertainty, and pressure, stepping into a home that radiates warmth and stability can be life-changing. It reminds people that not all environments are broken, and that there are still places where kindness, understanding, and truth exist. That hope can inspire someone to rebuild their own life, to restore their own relationships, and to believe again in something greater. A blessed house, therefore, carries responsibility beyond itself. It is not just a private space, it is a vessel of influence. Its purpose is fulfilled when it extends what it has received to others. When it uplifts the weak, inspires the willing, and restores the broken, it becomes more than a home. It becomes a light. And that light does not diminish, it multiplies, touching lives in ways that continue far beyond its doors. In the end, a house becomes truly blessed not by what is placed within it, but by what is practiced, protected, and poured out from it. Purpose gives it direction, values and leadership give it structure. Responsibility sustains its peace, and its impact reveals its true worth. A home is not just where you live, it is where life is shaped, where character is formed, and where others can encounter hope. The question is no longer whether you desire a blessed house, but whether you are willing to build one intentionally. So begin today. Examine what governs your home. Speak words that build, establish values that guide, and take responsibility for the atmosphere you create. Let your house become a place of peace, strength, and influence. And as you ask, Bless this house, O Lord. Commit to living in a way that ensures it truly is.